Where do you think he gets it, man?
Gotta find my drill.
Whoa. Yeah, full break.
You guys look fantastic.
Oh, that's funny.
Handsome guys.
All right. So day 5.
Day 5.
Yeah. So not a whole lot of like extensive stuff happening, but definitely
Well,
important.
Dirty Girl, I actually had to go from start to finish, the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. So one song,
That's true.
because we had not just scratch vocals on it originally, and then I did the whole tune today. But then other than that, just oohs and ahs.
But you were nervous. You thought your voice was a little tired, but you held up.
I was beyond a little nervous because
Yeah.
if my voice didn't kick in, I was like, what the hell am I going to do? It's going to...
65 bucks an hour, brother. It's coming out of your phone.
Yeah. But luckily,
Yeah, you were tired, but
my voice
it held
was
up fine.
My voice was fine. It kicked in.
Yeah.
So Easter, having Easter off and just chilling out with the family helped tremendously.
The honey glazed ham, it basically made the vocal cords work a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
No honey, maple brown sugar and ham. Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Nice mustard
With some
glaze.
pineapples or not?
No, I do. I do a mustard in a brown sugar, hot water, a little bit of minced onion, bunch of spices, and I make like a nice
This is
mustard
where I
brown sugar
imposed
sauce.
2 aprons on you two.
And then it sits in a crock for the night before and just marinates. So by the time you
All
eat
the
it
flavors
next day,
emulsified now.
oh my god, and the ham just breaks all
It's
apart.
almost like a metaphor for the CD.
Right?
And then you pour the sauce over the smashed potatoes.
Hence why we're chubby rock and roll.
That's right. Calories are our friends.
We're better cooks than we are musicians, actually.
Perfect. And after you finished doing your vocals, you actually recorded for the Tightrope song on the CD. You did your acoustic part.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the first CD where you play guitar. First
Yes.
time.
But he did some new guitar with one of the Arsenal guitars today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put
Some harmonics.
one of Ron's
Yep.
guitars in there because it needed to be in there.
Yeah.
So I put some harmonics in one of the two.
He makes amazing guitars. So
He does.
people
Yes, he
should definitely
does.
check him
Phenomenal
out.
guitars. That's why it had, that's the one I wanted to play.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so you got to record that, and how do you think that went?
Cool. It definitely helps the intro of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, when we wrote the tune, I mean, it was before Jimmy got in the band. When we first wrote Dirty Girl, that was in it. I put that in there because I was originally playing acoustic in the beginning, if you remember.
Yeah, give me Tightrope.
No, I'm talking about the boom, boom, boom. I'm talking about
Oh, you're talking about the harmonics, yeah.
the harmonics, because we were talking about the harmonics.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What are you
So
talking
so subtle, but
You're a horrible interviewer guy.
Ah, whatever.
it is a very subtle thing, but it makes a huge difference. Well, at least to me it does. It just sounds cool. It sounds a la AC/DC-ish. It just gives it it primes you to get punched in the face when the guitars do finally come in at full steam.
Sometimes some of the simplest things are the most poignant in a tune, I feel. Something like, oh, that's just a dumb note, who cares? But then you actually, when it's mixed with the whole song.
And like we were discussing, the other day, it's cool when you hear all these little things. Like somebody will listen to an album initially and they'll think, wow, that's pretty cool. But what's really cool is when they go back 2 or 3 weeks and say, did never even notice that part.
Yeah. I think Darren's hiding from the camera.
He is.
Sorry. I'm just trying to take a good time.
Darren's just going to be in every single one we do. Get him, get him, get him, get him.
Yeah,
We got him again. Oh, you missed the thumb. Oh, damn it.
But yeah, so there was a lot of that. There was a lot of just adding simple little nuances, but it changed the overall picture of a lot of the songs that you guys did today.
It's pretty cool, man. Like every day, like the progress of how this is coming forward is so cool. It's so cool to watch it build. Like from the very first day with Austin here and laying down drum tracks to where we're at now. It's crazy how fast it happens. It's really cool though. It's a really cool experience.
And I think if you asked any one of the members, the musical landscape is completely, I don't want to say different, but I guess so. Maybe it is completely different than what I envisioned it. I envisioned it to be awesome, but we've got so many little things and parts that it really has added a whole new dimension. And like I was talking with him, I was like, I'm kind of excited to get back in the jam room,
Yeah.
listen to this album, and get all the parts that we did and make the songs like the album now, because you know it's like a skeleton, you know, when you come in here and things change, and it's just
So when you write all those new parts, you know, basically, like what he's saying is, when we play live now, what we used to play won't fly.
Yeah.
We have to almost rewrite, so to speak, to match what we've just done in the studio. So that way we can portray what people are going to hear on the album live. Because that's the most important.
Which is going to
thing.
make an even greater experience for those.
Way
who've
cooler experience.
seen
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. All of our friends that have come to the shows and seen us the way we are. Like after they hear the album and we go and we play that live, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna know what we. Because I mean, it was cool before. I'm proud of the music and I love it, but it's huge now. This is so
new
much.
world, new.
I mean, the core root of the songs are all the same. It's just the bells and whistles, man. It does a lot. It's pretty damn cool.
well, it's like a lot of us will be like, well, I didn't know you did that part, or Austin's like, I didn't even know that was your solo, Jimmy, or like I'm hearing vocals that I didn't really pick up on. You know, me being a new guy in the band, I'm still getting my parts and stuff, so I haven't had the luxury to really enjoy or take in all the parts, and now I'm hearing it, you know, every little note and imperfection or perfection that's being done by each instrument, and it's cool because it's a progression, and each day, like he says, it's a progression going up another step, and it's really
I think
been
though,
cool.
you know, even though you still are technically the new guy or whatever,
He keeps
that
saying that. He's not even the new guy anymore.
He's not, but still, that monster sound that people are going to hear on the CD is a good, you know, thanks to you quite a
the
bit
first
as well.
month or two, you can walk around. I'm the new guy. I get it.
He's
But,
not the
you
new
know,
guy,
come on.
but he's
Well, I'm gonna milk this thing, so when I do hit that sour note, I can say, hey, I'm still the new guy.
right.
5 years from now, dude, I'm the new guy. Come on, what do you
Well,
want from
when
me?
I got into this band, you know, my initial what I wanted to do is get this band to sound, you know, big. If I can't, you know, if they don't use me for that, then I'm useless. And I think that I working with Dave, the two of us, you know, he's such a great guitar player. There's things that he was lacking on as far as his sound, and I think that I've helped him progress that way.
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, John will reiterate, because I'm like, Dave, you know, this is the amp you should be using, and John says it, and he knows, and Dave knows now.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first got asked to join the band initially, and the story's probably been told 100 times, I didn't initially accept.
Yeah.
But after I saw them live, the energy was there, and I thought to myself, these guys are really good live. If I got in there, they could get better. You know, I think I could bring it to a different level.
Yeah.
And hearing this and where we're at now, I think that I've seen, you know, the door open, and I've done what I've come to do for this band
Yeah.
so far.
It's a good fit.
Yeah.
It's a perfect fit. That's why I wanted to be in the first place.
Perfect. Yeah, because you guys used to be in a band prior, which.
We were in a band prior, yes, but the band we were in prior, you know, I mean, I had a great time in that band, and if we would have had the mindset that we have in this band,
Yeah.
that band would have been a much
That
better
band was about having fun.
Exactly.
And we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
We
The
had a-
problem is the fun took, you know,
Yeah.
center
Because
stage.
Sygnal is very much a fun band.
Correct.
as
But
well,
Signal's
but-
also, you know, it's a fun band, but we also have a goal in mind. We actually have a focus,
Yep.
and that's just the one thing that
A mature.
the band
Yeah,
you and I
we-
were in, we just didn't have that focus.
We've fallen off the bikes hundreds of times between the two of us and the other guys too, you know, and all these mistakes that everybody, you know, brings it to the table, so we don't make that same mistake as a unit again. And I think that's happening now, you know. I mean, this guy is a veteran. He's been in up teen million bands. He's made a shitload of mistakes, been on huge stages, and he takes all that from his past and puts it into this band, and it's huge. There's no substitute for experience. There just isn't. So I think, you know, this album, when it gets done, will be a representation of everybody's blood, sweat, and tears, and you know, it's just like you said, it costs a lot of money being away from your family. But this is something we love, and this album you should see that when it's done, you'll see the love in it.
We just, I just want people to have a good time. I want people to enjoy rock and roll again. You know, like that's what rock and roll always has been. I mean, you know, angst, and it doesn't matter the genre of rock and roll. Rock and roll is everything from Springsteen to Sepultura. Who cares? It's just all about that angst and that little bit of rebellion. You know, when you're a young teen, when I was a young teen, you know, that's what I wanted. That's what I yearned for. So that's what we're trying to bring back, just that fun, rebellious kind of, you know, let loose, let your hair down, so to speak, and just have a good time and just, you know, rock out.
Have a departure from, you know, everybody's got a shitty life here and there. There's so much bullshit. Come to a show, unwind, blow some steam off.
Exactly.
Met a lot of cool people at shows. And
Yeah.
We have, that's one thing I will definitely say in this band, like our fans, I call them more friends.
Yeah.
They're awesome people. Like, we meet some of the coolest people.
Yeah.
Just
bands that played with along the way, and
We had a lot of
killer
support.
bands. We're
yeah.
meeting a lot of cool bands. There's some great bands out there.
Promoters, clubs, everybody. I mean, everybody has been really, really cool to us.
yeah.
And you know, it's great when you can go into a room and you can chat with another band. You chat with the people in the venue, and everybody's having a good time. And that's, I think, the way it's supposed to be. You know, some people try to, you know, go out there and destroy the other band or this and that, or it's competition. And, you know, I can't say I didn't think that way at one point. I wanted to go out there and kill. Now this band, it's about us having a good time on stage with our friends, fans, and writing good music. And like he said, you know, rock and roll, no auto-tune.
Yeah, exactly. No auto-tune. And I think sharing the experience makes for a better experience for the people listening. I think if bands work together, it doesn't matter the genre. If you work together and you support each other, that creates a scene. That creates a purpose for the listener to even be there. But the problem is so many bands feel like they have to compete with each other. Like, oh, well, we're better than you. We need to play at this slot. Or we need to... What does it all matter? Who cares? If everybody worked together, then the whole show's good. If everybody just goes out there and supports each other, then now you have a scene again. You know, and that will bring rock back. That's what rock's missing, is that, you know, rappers do it. I think that's probably why rap's so huge, is rappers, you know, they have a lot more camaraderie than...
Everybody's on everybody's album.
Yeah, they're all
you know.
sharing each other's, you know...
You see them
this
showing up at
guy's
everybody's
rap.
shows.
Exactly.
And you can remember back in the day, way back, before we did anything that was somewhat substantial, it was kind of like that. Way back. You go,
Yep.
like in Wrong Brothers, an open mic night. You know?
Yeah, dude. I mean, there was a scene then. And that's what I would love to bring back. I really would. I would love to bring back that camaraderie and just that fun. And you don't have to like another band necessarily. Maybe it's not the music you're into, but you can at least appreciate what they're doing and appreciate that, you know, they're doing the same thing you're doing. They're out there busting their ass, and they're, you know, trying to get gigs, and they're trying to push their band just like you are. So as long as you have that appreciation, that respect, that creates that scene, that creates that support system. And then the fans pick up on that. The listeners are like, hey man, I'm not really into this band either, but you know what, they're really cool guys. I'm going to check them out too. I'm not just going to listen to the band I came to see and leave. You know, I'm going to stay for the whole night and watch all the bands. That's what, you know.
Well, it becomes a party, and, you know, people enjoy.
Everybody likes to party.
Right. And, you know, it's, if you get 3 or 4 bands, I just remember the days like Twisted Roots and Rotors and Tripe and David's Playground and Cradle, and it just, I remember playing
Sabertooth Nudist,
Yeah.
Rotous to Rust, Goose Thumb. The
Daddy's
list
Black
goes on
Boots.
and on.
Yeah. I mean, all these bands, and it was a strong scene, and it was awesome, and you know, I'd love to see it happen again.
Yeah. I think at some point it will get there. I mean, it's definitely...
We see it. We've seen. It seems like there's a resurgence in. Well, I mean, from what I've seen in Manchester, New Hampshire, it seems like that's starting. You know, I mean, with the venue, Jewel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jewel nightclub.
Yeah.
Nightclub.
Yeah.
I mean, I've definitely noticed playing down south. There's a lot. You know, the bands definitely seem to be more
Yeah.
in tune with supporting each other. So hopefully that spreads. And
I think it will. It seems to be going
Well,
good.
there's a lot more bands, it seems, down there too. I mean, there just doesn't seem like there's a lot of rock bands.
I
around.
think there's a lot of rock bands in Maine. Maine's just so damn huge. That's the problem. Maine is like its own country. So you have to You know, you have up in Lewiston, Auburn area, there's tons of bands up there. There's bands in Portland. There's bands down in my way. There's bands up in Bangor. So you have all these pockets. Maine's so damn big, you can't, it's hard to, you almost have to tour Maine, you know, to get yourself out there. So I think that's part of the problem. Maine's too damn big. But it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
When it's
Like, we
not
have
winter.
snow in April.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. That's no fun. All right. Well, tomorrow, you guys. I think tomorrow's looking like it might be the last kind of day of.
Tomorrow's the very last day of Twinkleys and bells and whistles, and just make sure we have everything down that we wanted, and then
Yeah.
it's all John. John mixes everything, and then we listen.
Absolutely. It's gonna be exciting. So
It's
we'll
gonna
come
be a
back
crazy
tomorrow.
summer, man.
Yeah, we'll come back tomorrow. We'll finish those things up, and then we'll see where we stand there.
Sounds good.
Rock and roll.
Cool. Hopefully, we can get the rest of the guys in here maybe soon, and we can.
We definitely, especially Austin, you know.
Yeah, Austin's.
Mr. Drummer, I play one day and I boot out. See you guys, I'm too cool.
That's what happens when you continue takes in one
Yeah.
you know.
Mr. One Take Guy, and
Hey, you taught him well, right?
I did.
All right,
Check out the
guys.
old block.
So we'll see you
Metal.
tomorrow.